We are going to play the Japanese version, and this is not a revision, this is like the first version, because this has more overworld enemies than any revisions, and we need a lot of them to grind some money, but more to that later. I guess we just gotta start. In 3, 2, 1, and go! So, this is the first part of the stage. Like, first thing to mention is, the game is divided in 2 sections, I'd say. The first thing, like the first section is stages, like normal stages as you know them from any jump and run or platformer. And the other sections are like overworlds, I would call them. And that was one of these overworlds. On the overworlds, your movement speed is depending on how many sandals you have. And right now we only have 1, but we will buy some later. And the more you have, the faster you walk. But in stages, it's not important that you have like any upgrades or so to be faster when walking. So, the basic thing is we want to collect as much money as we can on our way through all the stages, because there are 2 obstacles in the game. Like 2 times our way is blocked because we need to have a specific amount of money to buy an item that lets us progress through the story. And we can use money as a weapon in the game. We throw it. And so that's why we are sometimes just going out of our way or standing in front of enemies to kill them to collect their money. They can either drop money or a scroll. Scrolls are useless, we need money. And let's see if I get the quick kill on that boss. This boss has no RNG, so if I mess up, it's completely on my bad. Yeah, that was perfect. That was actually the perfect fight. So you cannot hit that boss with your weapon directly, you just have to bounce back the projectiles. This can be kinda tricky because the direction they will fly back is based on where you hit these projectiles, on the left or the right side, so you wanna practice that a lot. But it's not too hard once you get the hang of it. So, now we just want to kill enough enemies again and want to go to that shop and buy a little more than usually, just to be marathon safe. 3 times sandals and 2 times that thing to eat. I don't know what that is, if that's supposed to be some kind of sushi or... I don't know if someone knows what this is meant to be, but yeah, whatever. After that we go to the travel lady and we tell her that we want to travel, and then we are getting sent to the next area of the game, where the second stage, or the second boss rather, will be found. The thing is now, if we have 3 pairs of sandals, we have the maximum movement speed on overworlds, and every time we get hit on an overworld by an enemy, we lose 1 sandal. So that's why I bought more than just 2 additional ones. So if we get hit now once, we still have the top level movement speed. Which is not too important, just for some treasures we want to get, which are always worth 100 coins. What we want to look out for is that cat. We don't want to collect the cat once we have that medium weapon that we just have. Our weapon level has 3 different stages. The first one is a very small pipe. The second one is that one we just have. That one. And the third one is a yo-yo, which has an awkward hitbox and it has a longer animation until you are able to attack again. So we never ever want to get the yo-yo. 5, 6, I'm counting the enemies on the way. The reason for that is every 8th enemy on the screen that you kill will drop a cat. And that cat is your weapon upgrade to the next stage. So that was the 8th enemy. And number 9 is safe again, because number 9 can again drop a coin or a scroll. So that one, we just wanna get rid of that cat here, so it will not give us an upgrade. And now I gotta concentrate a little. Get rid of that cat. Nobody wants the yo-yo. So that was the hardest part of the boss already. Now we just have to hit him some more times and that's it. Yeah. You just want to get that set up to never have some RNG in the fight. As long as you always do the same thing for the boss, he will always behave the same way. So there's no RNG involved actually. So that was the second boss. Not going too bad so far. So yeah, as I said, we never want weapon stage 1 or stage 3. Stage 1 can be okay. We just have to take care because it's shorter. But stage 3 is really, really bad. And to get rid of one weapon stage, weapon level, whatever you wanna call it, you just have to get hit. Like every time you get hit, your weapon goes back one stage. Alright, and this is part 3, like overworld number 3 basically. So that's why you always want to keep count of which number that enemy kill is, like on that screen. So you wanna always know when enemy number 8 is going to die, because that guy will always drop the cat and you don't want to collect that once you are on stage 2. Alright, this is casually a lot of fun because there are a lot of mini games you can play here, but we are not going to use that in any way. We're just going through, getting that sushi, $100, and killing some additional enemies, and hopefully get a lot of money drops instead of scroll drops. Because yeah, as I said, scrolls are worthless for us. Like, there's a part in the game where you can talk to some dojo master, I guess. And that one will teach you how to ride a dragon or a tiger. I guess it was a tiger, as you can see on the right side of the layout. But that's no use for the speedrun, so... yeah, gotta get that one money. Like, the main core about running this game, like, the most important thing is knowing when it's worth it to go out of your way to collect some money, and when it's not worth it for the amount of money that you would get for getting out of your way. So if you have a coin, you want to know if it's worth it wasting a second or so to get that coin, or if it's worth it wasting half a second to get it, and so on. So it's all about money management, basically. So we're on 1.2k, which is pretty fine for that point, I guess, especially for getting the additional safeties that we have. By the way, that heal that we bought will heal us back to some health once we get down to 0 health, which is like kinda like a fairy in the classic Zelda games, I guess. Yeah, that's some beautiful screen glitching. Alright. Nothing too special about that part here, I guess. Just so we don't want to get hit, because, yeah, I wait some frames for that coin. It's as I said. I mean, for a marathon run, which is not actually a PB attempt, you just want to have the more coins the better, basically. You don't want to be too low on coins at very important parts of the run, because otherwise you would have to re-farm a little bit. So there's a deboost you could do if you have a yo-yo here, but we're not going to do that because that's really scary and hard to get. Alright. So the next... oh. Okay, that jump. The next section here is really finicky. I gotta get that elephant because that symbolizes a checkpoint. For whatever reason, they use elephants for that. Maybe that has something to do with Japanese law, I don't know too much. But yeah, you just wanna know that these are your checkpoints. This is a classic RNG room. This sucks now a little bit, but we get a little money for that, so it's kinda okay. Okay, luckily we got bombs, so we were able to lose a yo-yo again. This is bad. Do we get cats? No. You could also get coins, which would be the best outcome, but it's RNG. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, this was bad. Kinda failed the usual way I'm supposed to kill these guys, because my first coin throw was too high. So now I have to be a little careful, because I only have that small weapon. Which is really bad, as you can see. I mean, I barely have any range. So I wanna save me some money. So I gotta not use too much money on that boss. Except for phase 3, because phase 3 and 4, they suck. Oh, it's bad. Oh. Okay, now we gotta use coins, whatever. Whatever. Not the best fight, but we take it, I guess. So, luckily I never had that game as a kid. Like, I mean, first of all, I feel unlucky because of that, because it's a very cool game, but I guess that phase would have given me nightmares, like, honestly. But whatever. Alright, and now we are up for the hardest stage in the run, as I would say, because in my opinion it's definitely the hardest. Especially with the optimized movement. 4, 5, 7. Alright, we want to get a cat because we only have the small pipe. There's another money pickup. So some might not know, there are actually shops inside of the empty caves where there are no boss coming out. Alright, this is the Suzuki Stage. And the boss itself is not too bad, but the stage, like the platforming part, can be really difficult, so... And important to mention, the reason why you don't want to lose your lives, like, you don't have many lives. You only have 2 lives, as you can see there up left, below my health bar. And if you lose 3 lives, like these 2, and then die again, you spawn at the stage again, but without your items and sandals and stuff. And you don't have any money anymore. And this is really bad, because as I said, there are 2 stages, especially in the late game, where you must have 980 bucks 2 times. And if you go game over, losing all your lives, you would have to farm that somehow, somewhere. I have no idea where you would want to farm that. So that one is really important. Keeping track of the kills again. Oh! Okay, that was really bad. I don't like that part. Like, I mean, okay, that was a really bad way to die there. Oh, okay, I lost my momentum, so I just went slow there. Whatever. Okay, we have to do that now, somewhat improvised. Oh boy, this is always like one of the scariest parts. Especially for a marathon, because as I said, you don't want to lose your lives. Like, definitely not. So now we have that middle weapon again, which is the best. We don't want any other weapon for the next boss. Alright, so that's not too hard getting the quick cycle here, but you might mess it up if you're rusty. Alright, we got the quick cycle, so he will always stop and go to the next phase while he's in the middle. But luckily we got the quick cycle, so he was not cycling to the right again before hitting the middle. Which is basically more or less the optimal kill. But yeah, dying in that stage was not really good, but at least we only died once. That's the important part. Always nice to have one backup life. Well, okay. So now there's another scary stage coming up, which should not be too bad. There's one very scary part where you can fall down. But other than that, we should be fine. More to that later. And this is, by the way, the first gatekeeper. Like the first money keeper, basically. Because entering that stage, or like you need that passport to enter the next stage. If you don't have it, you will not be able to enter it. So you would just have to grind enemies to get 980 bucks. Or was it 980? I don't remember, but you need 960 or 980. I don't remember. So that's why we only have like 400-ish left now. So that guy would not let us through if we don't have that. Funny thing, in the co-op category you can actually skip getting the passport with a glitch. I don't know how it works, but you can skip it, if I remember correctly. So we need to count enemies again. 5, 7, 8. So here's the cat. That's important, to get the cat out of the way, to not get the yo-yo. Okay, that jump is scary, because if you get hit there in mid-air, you get knocked back. Because after every enemy contact, you bounce back, and you would just fall to a certain death there. Bad. Alright. It was kinda okay-ish, the stage. This boss can be scary, especially when learning the game. So he has iframes for a while, you have to wait here a little bit. I don't know why that is, but it is that way. Oh. Okay. I did not react the right way. You can see which of his two attacks he's going to do, depending on where he moves his head. Like if he moves it forward, he will do that purple attack, and if he kinda takes it back, he will do that head throw. But I did not react to that right in time, but yeah, it's not too bad. We lost a little bit of health. And we lost middle weapon, but we'll get that back in the next stage anyways. And the next stage is not too hard. Hopefully I did not jinx it by saying that now, but it's not too hard. Like one of, especially for being such late in the game, one of the easy stages. So, you don't get any damage if you're behaving like Jesus here. So, like, if you jump out at just the right timing, you will not get sucked in and get damage. Oh, that's my bad. Not too bad, we get health here anyways. I gotta collect that here. Because in every stage there are hidden red cats that maximize your health and refill all that missing health. But they just maximize it for the stage you are in, so after that stage we will be back on the normal health again. So that's an upgrade. Don't need that ring. Usually you're supposed to balance that ring to the side without having to enter the water, but don't need that. We can just jump through everything here. Yeah, 600 money should be fine. We will use some money depending on which pattern the boss is going to give us. Oh. Okay. We are still fine on money. I would say it's definitely fine. Alright. And this is the Mirror of Truth, or whatever it's called. Or the all-knowing mirror, or like, I have no idea what this is called. Like, I have not too much, a too big idea of the story of this game, but basically we want to free the princess of the kingdom. I don't know how this name was called. But yeah, this mirror tells us where the princess is being held, so we just move there. And yeah, basically we're always just traveling to know her location, and the classic princess being kidnapped story, I guess. So the thing is, in there is in the next shop. Like if we go through the gate, where we need almost 1,000 money again, but we will get a lot in this treasure room here. It's great. Alright, and we are totally fine on money. So there would be another treasure room with a little bit of treasure. Like not too much. But you could take that as a backup if you don't have enough coins at that point. But if you're a little greedy, you should always have enough. Right, you want to go out of their way, because they can throw hammers and it's hard to dodge. So we actually bought that book for a lot of money to translate what the king is going to tell us. But we will never ever talk to the king, we just have to move past that last pillar to actually be far enough to trigger what he would have said to us. So he would have told us that there's a secret path that we can take behind the second statue on the left. Even though we would have known that without his advice already, the secret pathway would have not been open. We would have not been able to go through here, like, unfortunately, so that's why we need almost 1,000 coins for the stage. So that means we don't want to go game over in that stage here, or like before beating that stage. After that stage it would be fine to go and lose all the lives. It would not be too cool because it's a time loss, obviously. This was bad. But it would not be too bad, since, as I said, we don't need any big chunks of money for the rest of the game after this stage is done. So we only need money to throw it after we're done here. Or like from now on. So if we beat the stage, we're totally fine. Like if we lose all our lives after the stage, it's totally fine. Oh, and we're also totally fine on throwing money. Okay, let's try to get the optimal way here, which is kinda hard without hesitation. Just jumping through. No stop allowed. That last part is pretty tight. Let's see if I can get it. And we got it. This is really scary. Because, especially the last jump, if you get knocked down there because your timing is wrong, you will end up dying. But with enough practice, it's not too bad. Okay, I'm using always like the normal weapon for the third hit, which is just to save a little bit of coins, which is not too necessary. But yeah. Alright, there's another checkpoint here. This is the roller coaster section, and this is my least favorite section of the entire game. There are two pretty difficult jumps that can easily lead to death if you fail them. And especially that late in the game, you do not want that to happen. I will try to go for at least the first jump. Skip a little cycle. Nah, I'm not going for it. I messed it up. Usually, if you're fast enough, you can jump onto this platform immediately and skip that cycle on the lower right part, but yeah. I realized I messed things up and I just stopped because I lost my momentum and everything was messed up a little bit. Better than dying, I guess. So this part is pretty straightforward. Nothing dangerous. Alright. So this is the end boss of that stage. With the rumor doll. Should be done in 2 hits. Let's see if I mess it up or not. Alright. We're fine. And Princess is saved. Nice. We got her. Enjoy that cutscene. GG's. I guess. Come on, let's go. Go forward. Alright. A what? A what? No! Alright, I'm just kidding with you. That's not the ending of the game. So that king that we never saw, where we needed the translation book for, was actually not the real king. And yeah, there was a trap, so they took the princess to the next area, to their flying castle or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's actually a castle that is flying. I'm not kidding you. If you can even call that a castle. Right, so that's the last overworld section actually. We never lost any sandals, which is really nice. No, we just need to trigger that dialogue and then we can go. He tells us that the secret exit out of the prison is actually in the cell that we were captured in. So we can just escape from there. Backtracking stories. Alright. So this is actually now the real final stage of the game. With, I guess, the best music? I don't know. I mean, I like most tracks of this game, but I guess this is my favorite. And this is quite RNG heavy. I mean, you can try to somehow manipulate it, that these guys are always moving the same way. Guess depending on your position and your behavior. But these are fairly random. You just want to try to not get hit, because you definitely want to keep your second stage weapon. So that's why I wanna get this guy out of the way. So we jump here the entire time until the end. And we skip a cutscene. Or like, nah, it's not really a cutscene, it's just a small dialogue with that girl. I don't know how she was called again. And we skip it by permanently jumping from a specific point on. It saves like 6 seconds, something like that, I guess. And nobody likes that jumping section. It looks so easy. It is actually easy, but I don't know. It just feels weird to play that. I cannot even explain what I mean by that, but it's just weird. So, and that's our last checkpoint. You might remember that guy. Come on, mister. By the way, fighting this guy with coins is actually faster, but we don't have enough money for that in the run. Not for the early fight, and also not for that fight, not necessarily. I mean, I would have enough money now for the rest, I guess. Okay, that was good. Good fight. And yeah, this is, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is, by the way, the most commonly run category, any percent no gamble. If you know that game casually, you can gamble at the lottery to win up to 10,000k money. So you don't need to collect any money for the rest of the game. but this sucks because it's super RNG heavy and you always have to reset the first 6 minutes. That was not so good, whatever. And by the way, look at the background. Do these guys remind you of chicken, by the way? Like, in the on the left and the right, like the guys down there? For me it looks like chicken, I don't know. Not anymore, but when they are just flying through the background in a fast manner, I don't know. Whatever. And this guy is glitched in the first Japanese release. Normally he's riding on that creature, but we can't see it. We just want to know where its head is to be able to throw the arrows back at the right spot. Because if you throw them back too high, we hit him and this does not deal any damage. And if it's too low, we hit the paws of the creature, mostly, and it does not deal any damage either. Right. Alright, that was the final boss. Except for the one death in Suzuki Stage, this was a very clean run, actually. Wow, very nice. Alright, that's it. Like, I can try to explain what that was. This guy was... I don't know why he kidnapped the princess, but he just had that deal with the fox to... I don't know what the deal was, but... The fox wanted the princess to be safe, and the old guy wanted to kidnap her, and then the fox is like, okay, screw you, I gotta not protect you any longer, and it's actually an old guy who's not scary at all, and that's it. Princess saved. I guess there's not too much more to say about that. But yeah, as I said, it's a nice short game. It has quite some RNG, especially in the overworlds, especially in how many coins you get. But yeah, whatever. It's a nice game. It makes a lot of fun. It has great music and it's not too hard to learn. Especially the mechanics are kinda, I don't know. It's hard to explain, and the momentum is kinda weird for the character sometimes. But yeah, I guess. That's it from me. I hope you have a lot of fun with the rest of SNES Super Stars. And I wish you a good day, good night, whatsoever. And yeah, have a good one, I guess. Bye, bye.